Hello everyone, this is Arlene with our next demonstration on how to make these lovely earrings as promised. I am going to be using embroidery thread for these, and these are some that I have already made. This is how it looks in the solid color, and you can really mix it up with adding a color theme with a mixture of colors, sort of like this, and you could pretty much make them any size you want. This is the smallest size right here. It has 5 rows, and I only used 1 strand of the number 3 Aunt Lydia's fashion thread. And I like to use it because unlike the number 10 thread, I don't have to double it. But when I double the embroidery thread, as I did with this one, which is the one we're going to be doing tonight, it comes out just a little thicker, and it still comes out very nice. I actually like it. Once you iron it and press the earring, it comes out very nice. It holds up very well. It has substance. It's not too flimsy. It doesn't bend or flip so easily, and it just, I love the way it comes out with this embroidery thread. I also like to use the number 10 thread. I don't have one of these labels to show you which number 10 thread I'm using, but Aunt Lydia also makes the number 10 thread. Or you could pretty much use any brand of number 10 bedspread. With the number 10 bedspread, I double the strand because just like this one and the number 3 thread that I made this one with, I love the way they come out. They come out nice and strong. So this is the biggest earring. You could, like I said, you could pretty much make them as large as you want. Just keep increasing on each row that you go around, and you'll have whatever size your heart desires. And what you're going to need is ear wire. You're going to need, of course, 2 of these. I use a jump ring, one of these, to go on the ear wire. A blunt needle so that you can sew in your ends. Some ends we're going to cut, some the last couple of ends we're going to have to sew them in with the blunt needle. These are going to help you get your ear wire and your jump ring onto the earring. Put these aside. A scissor to cut, and these are the colors that we're going to use. The first color that we use on this earring in the middle is the lightest yellow. It has a tint of white with a very light yellow. I don't know if you can see it. Hold it up to the light for you. And then this one here is a slightly darker yellow with the bright yellow, just like this one. So they're going to blend in nicely, as you see here. And after that, we're going to use an orange multi. It's a multi orange also. It has the yellow highlights in it. And then the last round, we're going to use a red with bright and dark reds highlighted in it. And that these colors this is what it created. And I'm going to show you how to make this earring with the other one. The embroidery thread that we are using is any embroidery thread will do. This one is a 6-strand. I don't know if you can see that. Is that clear enough? And we also have another brand in here. I believe it's the Iris brand. That brand there. However, any embroidery thread will do as long as you double the strand. And before you start your work, you should really organize it into little balls like this so that you won't have to fight with tangles while your project is while you're doing your project. And I'm gonna see if I can show you a little example of how you should untangle it. Let's use this one. What I normally do is I just open it up in the middle. I try to get all of the loops out of the middle, and you should see 2 ends just like this. And what I do is I take these 2 ends and I put them together, and I just hold them like this and I pull, and it easily comes apart. And when you get a nice little length on it, I wrap it around my 3 fingers and I make the little knobs. And it's just easier to work with because these little tiny hanks, they tend to tangle up when you're working. It tangles up even more if you use 2 separate hanks to double it up. So I just use 1 hank and I double the ends. I put the ends together and I just make 2 strands with that. So once you get this done, it'll be much easier for you to finish your project. And you're going to need at least, for the last couple of rounds, those are the rounds that need the most thread. So just make sure you have at least 2 balls for each earring, because you want to have enough for your project to finish. You're always going to have some left over, but it's not always, depending on how much you're using or how big you want your earring, you don't always have enough left for the second ear. Okay, so we got that on the way. So here's the colors that we're going to use. We're going to use the light, the yellow, the orange. We're going to need 2 of these because, see, this one I used on the first earring and this is all I have left. I seriously doubt that this is going to be enough for the next to last round. So I have another extra one here just in case. I'm just going to go ahead and start with the large one because this is just not enough, but you can use the scraps for another project. And we're going to use the dark red. And our pattern calls for to begin with a magic loop, and we're going to single crochet 13 inside of our loop. You can do your regular 5 chains to make a loop if you like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can make your loop like this, slip stitch, and there's your loop. You're going to put 13 double crochet single crochets inside the loop. I'm going to wrap my tail around it as if it's part of the ring so that I won't have to sew it in later. We're going to chain 1 and we're going to do 13 single crochets inside the loop. 1, 2. Okay, I needed a battery change. So that's 3 we have in the loop so far. And this is 4, 5, 6, 7, and you can go ahead and continue this until you have 13 in the ring. I'm gonna now show you how to do it with the magic loop, which is how I did this one, and the hole is a little smaller. Wrap it around my finger so I have 3 on my finger. I'm going to slip my needle through all of them, and I'm going to chain 1. This does not count as a stitch. This is your first stitch. That's 1 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So now we're just going to slide our stitches over. We're going to pull on our end here slowly to see which one of these 2 stitches it's going to move. I don't know which one it is. Okay, so it's this one right here, and the one that moves, that's the one you pull from the same side. You go all the way to this end and you pull it out like this, and that's going to make the other one go in, and it's going to help you to close your ring. So now you're going to pull that same loose end, and this is going to go in. And that's how I make my magic loop. Of course, you can look and search for other instructions on how to make a magic loop. That's just the way I prefer to do mine. So now we're going to slip stitch in that first stitch that we made. And now we're going to do a chain 1, and we're going to half double crochet in the same stitch right there. You're going to half double crochet in that same stitch. Then on our next stitch, we're going to put 2 half double crochet. This is an increase row. So we're going to do 2, then 1, then 2, then 1. That's 2, 1, 2, then 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 1. Okay, so now we're going to slip stitch at the top of the first stitch that we made. We're going to put our needle in the top of the first stitch, and this is where we're going to change color. We're going to take our next color and we're going to finish our slip stitch with the new color. So we're going to slip this through here like this. The color that's already there that we just finished with is this one from the old ball. I'm going to pull that a little bit to tighten it around, tighten the stitch up a little. And now we're going to crochet with the new color. I'm going to chain 1 and we're going to half double crochet in the same stitch. We're going to half double crochet in the first one, and then we're going to half double crochet in the next 8 stitches. We're going to put 1 half double crochet in each stitch. Let's keep up with our count here. That's 1. And then 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 9 stitches all together. In our next stitch, we're going to do 2 half double crochets, in the same stitch. We're going to chain 1 and we're going to put 2 more double crochets in the same stitch. I'm sorry, 2 more half double crochets in the same stitch. Then we're going to half double crochet in the remaining stitches. One half double crochet in the rest of the stitches. And it's going to start showing you the little point right here. And this is my last one. And now we're going to slip stitch at the top of the first stitch that we made. It's a little tight. Okay, and it's also time to change our color. So we're going to do the same thing we did before. Grab our new color and we're going to finish our slip stitch with the new color. And we're going to pull on that. we're going to chain 1. We're going to half double crochet in the same stitch, and we're going to do 2 half double crochets in the next. That's 2, 1, and 2, 1. Oops, one of my strands slipped. Okay, so that was 1. Now 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and that last one next to your chain 1 space that you previously made gets only 1. It always gets 1 half double crochet. If you put 2 half double crochets there, it's gonna be a little too tight, because in the chain 1 space we're going to finish our peak, and we're going to put 2 half double crochets. This time we're going to do half double crochets. Remove 2, and then you remove 2 more. Now we're going to do another one in the same chain 1 space, and then we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do 2 more in the same chain 1 space. We're going to do 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, and then we're going to do 2 in the next one. So next to the chain 1 space, when you get to the chain 1 space, that last stitch before you make your 2 stitches, it always gets 1 on each side. 1 half double crochet on each side of it. And then you continue on this round. This is the 4th round. You continue with, you do 1 half double crochet, and then 2. And then 2 half double crochets. 1 half double crochet, and then 2 half double crochets. That's a little knot from a continuation that I tied there, and I think it's going to interfere with my stitch. I'm going to try to let it pass through, see if I can get away with it. This sometimes happens. It happens. Just loosen your grip on your tension with the thread, and just start over again. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to get past this knot. I'm going to just crochet this stitch a little looser. This was 2 half double crochets, so that my knot can slide through. I want it to come all the way through. Okay, so it's through. We'll fix him later. So 1 in the next stitch, and then 2, one in the next stitch, and then 2, one in the next stitch, and then 2. Make sure we get both our strands. And then we're going to slip stitch at the top of the first stitch, and we're going to change to our last color. Now these colors here that we have, we don't need them anymore. So after we do this color, slip this color through. There's another knot. After we slip this color through the slip stitch, we're going to cut all of these other colors off because we don't need them anymore. Okay, so we're going to do our slip stitch. I'm going to try to avoid this little one. I'm going to avoid this little guy and just cut him off. Okay, so we have our slip stitch. We pull on the back there, tighten that up a little. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to put a half double crochet in the same stitch, and then we're going to half double crochet in each stitch around. Well, we're going to half double crochet until we get to our chain 1 space. That's my 12 o'clock bird singing. So we're coming up on our chain 1 space. We have one more. And now we're going to do our double crochet. We're going to do 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Remove 2, yarn over, remove 2, do it again. Remove 2, 2, we're going to chain 1 and 2 more double crochets in the same chain 1 space. I did say we were going to cut these off, right? So we can cut these off. We're working with this one right now, so we're not cutting that one off yet. So we have our 4 double crochets inside of our chain 1 space, and we're going to continue half double crocheting in the remaining stitches with 1 half double crochet in each stitch. That's where that troubled knot was. Hopefully when we iron the earring, it won't show too much. Okay, so now we've ended our row, and we're going to slip stitch at the top of the row. And we're going to, can we reinforce it with a chain? I don't like to reinforce it with a chain 1 because then you'll probably get a lump there. I normally do that with other projects, but we're not going to do that with this one. We're just going to slip stitch and we're going to cut. And we're going to tug it a little bit, and that's it. Now your earring is curling a little bit, but when you press it with the hot iron, that's going to take care of it. It's not going to stay curly like this. So we're going to clean up this mess back here, and we're going to take our scissor, this first string right here, that's the string from the magic loop that we started at the beginning. You're going to pull that a little bit and close that hole as much as you can without, of course, pulling it too hard. And you're going to cut it. Our next string here, remember these are double strands, so you take this double strand and the next double strand, and you're going to tie those together nice and neatly. We're going to tug at it and do a double knot. Just make sure it's nice and snug so it won't come apart. And we're going to neatly cut it, not too close, but close enough where it's not going to be in the way. You're not going to have it showing too much, sort of like that. And now we're going to do our next one. We're going to tie these two strands together. The two closest to each other, those are the ones you tie together. And as you can see, they're blending right into the earring. It's not showing any discoloration from the different colored threads or anything. It's not looking wacky or nothing like that. Of course, if you like, you can take your blunt needle and you can sew all these ends in. So we're going to need to save an end for this last little tail here. And these are the only two tails that are left, so we have a double strand. So we're going to borrow this double strand here, and we're going to use it to tie this one. And we're going to save the other one for the last tail. And we're going to cut that way. So this last one here, this one is going to need the blunt needle so that we can get it onto the back side of the earring. Both of my strands did not go in. Let's give it a clean cut. Okay, so we're going to take it and just weave it in through there. And we're going to bring it back so that it can sort of meet up next to this little tail here. And now we can tie them together. Okay, and there's our earring. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our pliers and our jump ring and our wire, and we're going to put our jump ring on. This is I think it's a needle nose plier, and this one is a little wider and flatter. And with these small jump rings, I use the flat wide side. I hold it sideways right before the split of the jump ring, and I hold this one on this angle and I twist them open. Some jump rings are soft enough for you to do it with your finger and just one plier, but these are stainless steel jump rings and they don't open so easily. They're a little, you know, it's just sterling stainless steel, which is a little strong, so my fingers are not strong enough to open it. And we're going to press them back together, bring them back together, and now you have your ear wire on there. So now we're going to fix this little knot here. Knock some fuzz off of that knot, and I'm going to press it with the iron and bring it back to you to show you how it's going to look. I'll be right back. So I went and got my hot iron so that we can press it, and I'm going to pull on my little wire here a little bit because I want it to press it with the little peak pointing. So I'm going to tug at it a little bit. And I'm giving it a nice little steaming. And there you have it. I'm going to flip it over. And the little knot is still there. It's not too noticeable, but that's not always going to be the case. You're not always going to have a knot to interfere with your thread. And this is the back of it. And our earring is done. I'm going to run a little iron over the other one. And I think we're done with that. Now your ear wire, when you put your earring on, you want your earring, you want the back side of your earring to be against your neck. So what you could do is, you can turn the right side of your earring towards you, and the ear wire, you take it right here at the neck and you give it a little gentle twist like this. I do this much easier with the stainless steel wires. So the other ones that are not stainless steel, they're a little softer and they don't hold up that little twist so easily. So when you put your earring on, you want it to sit on your ear and hang like this. You don't want it to hang forward like this. You want it to hang alongside of your face. And now they're both hanging sideways. And there you are. There's your earrings. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please look at my other, watch my other beginner tutorials on my channel. and hit the like button, and you could visit my Facebook page. I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much.